Hello, everyone. In the Wednesday night EDAP 690 class, Teaching Multimedia Authoring Tools, or as Blackboard likes to say, Teach Multi-Auth Tools. This will be a quick introduction. We are pretty much the same crew that has been together now for about 3 classes, so we kind of know what we're in for. So I'm just going to review real fast because I want you to understand this will be a 2-prong class. Let me go into the modules and you'll see what I'm talking about. What we are going to be doing is we're going to be exploring an idea based around this book, and that is Multimedia Learning. This is a book written by Richard Mayer. It's the 2nd edition. Dr. Mayer is probably the foremost authority on multimedia learning. Now, this is not to be confused with a lot of the gurus that are out there who will talk to you about building PowerPoints that teach, or how to present information in a minimalist way. That's not really what we're after here. What we're after is understanding a much bigger picture of how does multimedia, how does it actually teach kids? And why is it necessary to use it to teach kids? I think that's a point that we really don't understand. We kind of use multimedia in our classrooms, but if we really understand why it works, then we can use it a lot more effectively. Now let me drop in here and I'll show you. So our first module is we're going to make a wiki. Yes, I know. But we are going to put something in the wiki, which I don't think you've used before. It's called a Blabberize. If you haven't played with a Blabberize before, it is a hoot. It is more fun than a box of puppies. You knew that was coming, didn't you? And I think you will like it a lot. I want you to have a response to one of the articles that's in this module about multimedia. Don't worry about that you need to know too much right now, because you're going to come back to this. I don't expect you to do it that night. What I expect you to do is at some point you're going to come back and look at these articles and do a and come in and read one and then respond to it within your wiki. But the real meat that we're after, well, actually we have a little visit to make to our old friends at TPAC. And I promise you we will not stay here very long. We're not going to do anything TPAC-ish here, except we're going to take all together the quiz. That way we can get in, get out, and move on. Because what we really want to get to is the meat of the matter. And that is right here. This is Richard Mayer. And we are going to do a book study on his multimedia learning. We are going to jigsaw out the book and take on a responsibility for, wait for it, one of Mayer's multimedia principles. You knew this was coming. In fact, here's Richard right here, who has this marvelous discussion video where he talks you through everything about the multimedia principles. Now, if you're having problems with insomnia, you're going to love this video. Actually, he's not that bad, but it's kind of like he breaks, and this is something you will realize as you take this class. You'll never be able to look at a PowerPoint again because you will now know why the PowerPoint you're looking at is so bad. You'll never be able to look at any multimedia again the same way, because now you'll understand why it works or it doesn't work. And what's so funny is if you watch this video, after you've gone through the course, you can go back and you can say, well, he didn't do that. He violated principle number 3. He didn't do this. It's really kind of cool. So this is where we'll land for a little while, so that you can get this into your head. Because if there's one thing that I want to leave you with out of this class, is I want you to develop a new way of looking at multimedia. And we're going to do it the Richard Mayer way. When we get this done, you will be graduated, and you will receive your new way of looking at the world through Richard Mayer's lenses. Then we're going to pivot. And we're going to pivot, and we're going to spend the rest of class in this world. We're going to play with digital storytelling. Some of these you're familiar with. Some of these you are not. But we're going to be creating different kinds of stories. Digital storytelling, I think, is one of the most powerful things that we can do with kids, that we can do with adults. And you're going to make a digital story that we're going to share, if you want to, with the middle and secondary Facebook page that will be your story into teaching. As you can see, we'll do a little bit of work on going over the background, what it looks like. And then we'll start here. Our old friend Animoto. And if you've actually, I don't think you have worked with Animoto. What you will find about Animoto is it basically leverages the power of the picture, the written word, and the soundtrack, music. This is a very powerful, powerful tool, and it takes me about 10 minutes to teach it to you. I will urge you to use the Animoto username and password to allow your students to go in to make their own Animotos. We'll take a look at that. We're going to create an audio story. When we did this last year, we tried to do this in groups, and it didn't work very well. So I'm going to allow you to make your own audio. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, and you'll look in here in this module, it's full of resources. And it's full of how to use these various tools that we're going to be playing with. And I'm going to probably maybe change this up. So I'm not going to talk too much more about this. I'm going to have a surprise for you. But right down here is what I wanted you to see, is that is loaded with resources for you for creating an online story. In other words, a radio drama. And if you're not old enough to know what radio dramas mean, well, you're going to find out. Then we're going to create something using Google Tour. Google Tour Builder is one of the probably least understood and most underutilized tools. I've used this with a group of kids who told their story about ESL kids who told their story about the country they came from and how they got to America. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. And along the way, we may throw in a couple of other surprises. If I can gather enough iPads for us to use and for our folks out there in the great beyond, because I don't want to do anything that they can't also participate in. So we will finish up with your hat will be that we will take any one of the tools and create 5 multimedia presentations. If you want to use PowerPoint, you can use PowerPoint. But you have to realize that we have to use tools that allow us to meet his standards. And we're going to put those in here. You're going to tell me, you're going to put little check boxes, You're going to upload the files, or you're going to put links in so I can go see them. And that'll be your final. Now, for those of you who are coming into the class from the great beyond, you know the routine. Over here on the left-hand side, if I can get to it, is your Collaborate link. The Collaborate is all set up and ready to go. Click. It opens up into the Collaborate room right here. And we will be pretty much working the same way we've always worked. We will have a Collaborate mommy who will basically run the room. And I'm hoping, I don't know if you can tell this, but I'm recording right now on a brand new microphone that I have here in the studio. Oh, by the way, the house is all back together. December, I would say around about December the 19th, we could look around and go, the house is back together. So my studio is back. As I just said, I've got a new microphone. I hope you enjoy the audio quality of it. I think it sounds great. And I look forward to recording more of these kind of videos for you as the semester goes along. For those of you who are in the great beyond, by the time you get this recording, your course will be merged with the main EDAP 690-75 course. So don't worry. Everybody will be in the same course, and you will have received this audio and video from me through the course. So you'll know that everything is working just fine. I really, really look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday night, and I think you're going to have a ball with this class. See you then.